First, we need to check if Vim is installed. To do that, we simply type Vim and hit enter in the terminal, and we should be greeted with this message, which displays the version along with other stuff. If you don't have it, you can just type sudo apt install vim. In my case, I already have it installed. And in the case that you're using Windows, you can either install a Linux distro using WSL or just simply visit vim.org and follow the instructions there. Now to create a file, we type vim followed by the file name, and then we just hit enter. Now we're inside Vim and we type colon followed by a W and we hit enter to write the file. Now to exit from Vim, we just type colon Q and hit enter. And the new file is now located in our directory, VLS directory. Let's create another file now, only this time we're gonna use colon WQ, just for you to see that you can use them both at the same time. And the file is written again. If we don't use the W part and simply exit Vim, as I'm gonna do here with this file here, the third file, you will see that the file will not be created, okay? So if we don't write it, it's not created. Now to insert some text in our file, we simply open it with Vim again and press I. This will get us into the insert mode, and now we can simply type stuff. And once we are done, we're essentially just gonna press escape, which will get us into normal mode again, and then colon W to write and Q to exit. Now if we open the file again, everything we have written will be still there. Okay, so let's now suppose that we need to discard changes that we made. So here I'm just gonna insert the word, so change, and I press escape to go back to normal mode. So now if I just go colon Q to exit, I will get this error message, which tells me to use the exclamation mark to override the changes. So I go Q exclamation mark this time, and if I open the file, the word will be missing. Now, before we move on with the rest of the commands, there is a couple of settings that I recommend you change in order to improve your experience with Vim. The first thing that we are going to change is the color scheme that Vim is using. So what do I mean by color scheme? Suppose we create a file, let's call it file.cpp, which is a C++ file, and we open this file with Vim, then Vim will recognize the file extension that I used and will use colors to distinguish between binded keywords. So if I go ahead and type some C++ code here, you will see this in action. So for different binded words, we have different colors, okay? Even for comments, we have different colors. Now, there is one thing that I personally don't find appealing about the default color scheme, and that is the color for the comments, okay? So it is essentially dark blue, okay? So since I'm using a black background terminal, it makes it hard to see the comment text, okay? So if we want to change the color scheme, we simply type colon, color scheme, then a space, and then tab. This will display all of the color schemes we have. We can use tab and shift tab to go left and right, and the arrow keys as well. And I personally prefer run. So I'm gonna go there and press enter twice, and this will change the color scheme. This method of changing the color scheme only works temporarily though. So if we want to permanently change the color scheme, we're gonna have to edit the vmrc file. Okay, so if we want to change the vmrc file, we just type sudo vim /etc/vim/vmrc, and we go to the color scheme line. We change that to whatever color scheme we prefer. We save and exit. And now if we open file.cpp again, you will see that the color scheme of our choosing is enforced. Now the other thing we need is line numbers. So to enable line numbers, we just type colon set number and press enter. But this again will only be temporary. So to do it permanently, we need to edit the vmrc file. And there we simply just append the set number line. And then we save and exit. And now whenever we open a file, we will see line numbers appearing on the left side. All right, so let's now explore some basic ways of moving our cursor around in normal mode. So one way to move around is to use the arrow keys. So here I will be pressing the arrow keys 3 times each in this order. So right, down, left, and up. Now, if we want to move multiple lines up or down, we can hold down the respective arrow key and let go once we reach the line we want. We can also do this even faster, either by using the page up or page down button, or by holding down Shift and the respective arrow key, which will have the same result. We can also hold Ctrl or Shift and press the left or the right arrow key to jump between words. Similarly to the arrow keys, we can use keys H, J, K, and L. So H will be moving us to the left, J will be moving us down, K will be moving us up, and L will be moving us to the right. Now, if we hold down Shift and use H and L, each will move us respectively to the top and the bottom line, which will not cause for the screen to scroll. To understand what I mean by scroll, you can hold down the up or down arrow key, and you will see that when the screen is scrolling upwards or downwards, we have always 5 lines as a margin. We call this margin scroll off, and we can set it by using this command, set the local scroll off equals to whatever value we need to be the margin. I personally use 999 because I want my cursor to be always at the center of the screen. To go back to the global or default 5 lines value for scroll off, we can type set local scroll off equals to -1. We can also use Z to center the screen to our cursor's current location. Some other commands that are useful for the movement of our cursor is the ones that moves us to the beginning or to the end of the line. So if we press home, it will get us to the beginning of the line. If we press end, it will get us to the end of the line. We can do the same by using number 0, which will get us to the beginning, or the $sign, which will get us to the end. Okay, so let's now look into how we can select some text. First, we press V to enter visual mode. Then we move the cursor as we have learned before to select the text we want. After selecting some text, we can copy it by pressing Y. We get the message at the bottom left that we did. Here I'm just going to insert some empty lines. And then I position my cursor to the line I want to paste the copy text and simply hit P in normal mode. Okay, let's now select some text and cut it instead. To do that, we are going to press D after selecting it. Here I'm just going to do it again with these 4 lines. And now I'm going to paste them by pressing P. Now, if we want to copy a single line, instead of selecting that line, we can, in normal mode, press Y. Then we can simply paste it by pressing P. We can also do this multiple times. In the same way, we can press D to cut a line. When using Y or D, our cursor does not have to be in the beginning of the line, so it just has to be in that line. Okay, so let's now undo an action. To do that, we press U in normal mode. Here, if I keep pressing it, I can go back to some previous state. To redo a change, I can press Ctrl and R. And to search for a specific pattern, we type / then the pattern that we are searching for, and press Enter. This will move the cursor to the first occurrence. To go to the next occurrence, we can simply type N. Now, to search and replace, we just press colon, percentage symbol, S, / the old pattern that we want to replace, / the new pattern. And then / and then G. We hit Enter and we can see that the replacement is done. Here I'm doing it one more time, only this time I include a space in the pattern, in the new pattern, for you to see that it works as well. Now let's say that we only need to change some occurrences and not all of them. We type the same thing with the addition of a C at the end of the command before hitting Enter. Then we just hit Y if we want to replace the highlighted occurrence, or N otherwise. Okay, so to finish this video, Vim comes with Vim Tutor, which you can use to practice with Vim even more. My final advice for anybody who wants to deepen their knowledge and skills with Vim is that before investing the time to do so, make sure that you have very good awareness of where the keys are located in your keyboard. That is, be a good typist who doesn't need to look on the keyboard for every single key or combination of keys that he's going to press. If you are not a good typist, practice typing first, reach at least 70 words per minute in Type Racer or 10 fast fingers, and then proceed to learn Vim. Because at the end of the day, Vim is created for people who want to achieve speed. So if you're going to use it in the long term, make sure to get this speed value out of it. Thanks for watching the video, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.